If you're a racist person and you turn on your television and you see a bunch of black people looting, stealing, causing mayhem in the streets, and yes, I know it's more than just black people, but someone who's racist is going to focus solely on the thing that they hate, which is black people. So if you're a racist person and you're seeing black people committing all these different acts, these atrocities, on television, is that going to make you say to yourself, you know what? Racism is bad. Lesson learned. Let me stop being racist. No, they will grow to hate black people even more. So I expect that this video is going to upset a lot of people, but in spite of that, I believe that it's important that we stand up for what we believe is right. I am not anti-racist and I am not anti-violence. I am pro-equality, and especially right now, I'm pro-equality for blacks, as well as I am pro-peace. There is a simple but powerful distinction between the two. One focuses on fighting negativity, the other focuses on promoting positivity. Let me give you the simplest example. Think of someone who is pro-health, pro-wellness versus someone who is anti-obesity. Someone who is pro-health lives and breathes health and the promotion of good health year long, day in and day out. Someone who is anti-overweight is probably likely to address the issue once it gets to a point of being too much to handle, once it becomes too unbearable. That's the difference between someone who's promoting anti-violence and someone who's promoting pro-peace. Someone who promotes anti-violence is only going to address the issue once it becomes so unmanageable, so devastating to society that they have to speak up. You don't believe me? Look at all, no offense, but look at all the white people that have now started posting anti-racist. I have never seen so many people post about anti-racism in my entire life. But on the flip side of that, look at someone who's been promoting peace for longer than anyone has been talking about anti-violence. Look at their actions. You know who they are. You know the people who promote wellness and peace throughout society versus those who are just now popping up and saying, oh, Malcolm X quote here, and oh, let me promote Jane Elliott there. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is the difference between someone who is anti-racist and someone who is pro-equality. People who are currently anti-racist right now that are rioting in the streets and looting are making black people look even worse. Just look at this through the eyes of a racist person. If you're a racist person and you turn on your television and you see a bunch of black people looting, stealing, causing mayhem in the streets, and yes, I know it's more than just black people, but someone who's racist is going to focus solely on the thing that they hate, which is black people. So if you're a racist person and you're seeing black people committing all these different acts, these atrocities, on television, is that going to make you say to yourself, you know what? Racism is bad. Lesson learned. Let me stop being racist. No, they will grow to hate black people even more. Your acts of anti-racism is doing you no justice. It's causing more hatred within the very people that you're trying to change their minds. You don't change someone's mind through violence, through acts of hate. You don't change their minds by meeting them on their level. You need to rise above that. Show them love. Show them compassion. I'm reminded of a story of this racist dude, and I'm not even going to go into it, but I've heard about this racist guy who had his mind changed about black people simply because he was stranded in the middle of the road somewhere and a black guy came along in his truck and helped to fix his tire and get him back going. That act of compassion showed him what true love is. It showed him that, hey, black people are not the enemy. I'm my own enemy. And that's what you have to do if you want to change the minds of people who are so small-minded. Right now, you're acting no better or worse than they are. You are now meeting them on their level. And so all this is going to do in the end is create more. It's going to promote more negativity, more racism. Pro-equality looks like showing love, looks like showing compassion to others, especially during times of injustices. What you're doing out there right now, supporting your claims of anti-racism, is just throwing gasoline in the fire. You're fueling the flame. This is not the answer. This is not going to solve racism, which is the underlying issue. If you want to change someone's mind, you have to rise above them. I implore you to think about a time when someone that you maybe weren't super cool with showed you compassion. They surprised you with love. How did it make you feel about that person? Your guard was probably lowered, right? You didn't feel those feelings of anger and resentment towards them anymore. Same applies to trying to solve this issue of racism. You're not going to change people's mind about how they feel about black people, for example, if all you do is act exactly like they think that you're supposed to act. That's all I got for you right now. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Apologetic. Talk to you later.